Manga-Waido.
My name is Kosuke Sakaguchi. I'm a chef that works at a restaurant. I was finishing up work like I usually do before I came back to my apartment when I saw... They're here again. These are some delinquents that I see around in the neighborhood recently. They're often pretty loud till late at night, so honestly, it was kind of a nuisance. Alright, today's the day. You guys? Ah? This is an apartment complex, so the walls are pretty paper thin, you know? If you want to talk, then can you go talk somewhere else, please? The hell are you talking about, old man? He's close! Hey, it's going to be annoying if he calls the cops on us. Let's just get out of here. Damn it! Phew, I finally told them off. I felt something was strange about that interaction, but I went back home. The next day... I've got neighbors now, huh? Oh! I was just glancing over at them when I noticed that the oldest son she had was one of the delinquents that I had warned the other night. Freaking figures. I headed off to work before he noticed me. A few days after that boy moved in next door, nothing in particular happened. Every day was relatively peaceful. I'm home!
Welcome home. I'm making us dinner right now.
Yeah, thank you. Her name was Eri Takahashi. She's my girlfriend and stays over from time to time. Of course, we're already considering marriage. I was having a lovely night with my lovely girlfriend, but... Who is it this late at night? Huh? The person who was on the intercom was the boy who had just moved in the other day. No way. Is he coming here to get payback or something?
What are you doing? Coming!
It's me. It's your neighbors, ma'am.
Oh, they just moved in, right? I guess he's here to say hello. I'm going to enter the door.
Huh? Wait, hey! But before I could react, Eri opened up the door. Sorry to bother you so late at night. I'm your neighbor, Yuto Shirota. Huh? He's got manners. Sorry about the other night. Oh, it's fine. But did you really come here just to say that? I actually have a favor to ask of you. Can you teach me how to make bento, please? Bento? At first, I was surprised, but he looked dead serious, so I decided to let him into the house. I asked him what was going on, and... well, I want to make bentos for my siblings to take to school. I coincidentally ran into you, working at a local restaurant, and I figured that you'd be able to help me out. What about your mom? Well, she just hands me money, and hasn't been making anything recently. She only ever comes home like once a week.
Huh? That sounds like...
I figured that this isn't good for our health, so I thought that I need to do something for them. I think it might be more important to talk to CPS about your situation. If you do that, my whole family is going to be ripped apart! I am not going to do that! If you're not going to help me with bento, then I've got nothing else to talk about with you! Whoa, calm down! I got you! Just breathe for a second. Sorry, sir. I decided to first start off by building trust with him. I decided to teach him how to cook. After talking to him and spending time with him, I realized that his wild look didn't match his personality at all. In fact, he was quite diligent and serious. He apparently even acted the way he did that night, so that his delinquent friends would quietly listen to his suggestion.
Oh yeah, how about you invite your siblings over too? We can all have a meal together.
Huh? Are you sure? A few minutes after Yuto went back home to bring over his siblings, Rito, Hina, what do we say?
Oh, welcome! We've been expecting you.
At first, they were really nervous, but the more they ate, the more they relaxed. After that day, we would invite them over from time to time to all enjoy a meal together. At this point, they were basically relatives' kids that we were looking after. Hey, at this point, I kind of want to be a chef like you. Huh? Well, that's really abrupt. What's up? Well, I've always thought that cooking is really fun, you know. It's a nice feeling when people eat your food and enjoy themselves. I see. Well, you can do anything you set your mind to, buddy. Thank you. We were all just having a great time with each other when I got back from shopping, and there was a woman standing in front of Yuto's house. She also seemed to notice me at the same time.
I heard there's a family here by the name of Shirota.
May I ask who's asking?
Well, I'm actually...
Huh? After listening to her, it turned out that she was Yuto's grandmother.
My daughter Yuto's mother kept telling me to stay away from them, but never told me their address. Then the other day, my daughter's work called me saying that she hasn't been coming into work, so I was actually able to figure out her address from her workplace.
I see. I guess with the way she's talking, she probably doesn't know the current living conditions for Yuto and his siblings. I was a little unsure if I should say anything, but I ended up telling this now bawling grandmother what kind of living conditions her grandkids were in.
I can't believe it! I'm so disgusted by my own daughter!
Oh, please, you didn't even know! How were you supposed to do anything about it? That might be Yuto-kun, actually. Hang on a second. Just as I'd expected, Yuto-kun waited for me at the door, and I told him the gist of what happened before letting him into the house. Grandma?
Yuto, you've grown so much. It's your grandmother. We haven't met since you were 2 years old, so I don't blame you if you don't remember me, but...
She was worried about you guys, so she came all the way out here. Well, it's too damn late for that, don't you think? Hey, calm down, alright? Let's just talk for a second. I explained everything that his grandmother explained to me earlier. Yuto looked very conflicted, but at the very least, understood what was going on. So, when do you think your mother will be home next? Well, she actually hasn't been home for 2 months now. Huh? You said that she came home like once a week before. I didn't want to worry you, and I didn't want us to get sent to some adoption home or something.
Yuto, I know that it's been a long time, all on your own, and I'm sure I put a lot of pressure on you, but would you want to come back home with Grandma?
I think that would be the best for you. At this rate, it's probably not good for your brother and sister. You should at least do it until your mom comes back home. Okay, fine. Yuta and his grandma went back home at once, and a few hours later, his grandma showed up with some snacks as a thank you.
Thank you so much for a second ago. After talking to the kids, they said that coming over out of the blue would be a little too much, so I think I'm going to live over here for a little while.
I see. Well, I'm glad everything worked out. If there's ever anything you need, just let me know.
Sure, thank you so much.
Afterwards, Yuto and his siblings started living with their grandma. They've gotten used to her now, and seem to be having fun every day. A few months later, I came back home from work like I normally did, when I heard angry yelling coming from Yuto's house next door. I'd never heard that voice from his house before. What's going on?
I don't know. They just started yelling, and I got worried and went to check on them, but...
I checked the door, and the door was unlocked. I ran inside in a hurry and...
How dare you just come into my house here without getting permission first?
Permission? Do you realize what would have happened if you just abandoned those kids for any longer? What would have happened if I didn't come in?
Shut up!
Hey, wait! Calm down!
Shut up! Shut up! Get off of me!
Ah! Hey! If you don't cut it out, I'm going to call the cops! The hell are you talking about being my mom? I'm serious!
Who the hell is going to believe what some rat says, huh?
I'll testify with them. I think that you're going to be in a lot of trouble if that happens.
What the hell is wrong with you? Making me out to be the horrible person. Whatever, I'm leaving.
I'm so sorry for that. That must have been disgusting to see.
Oh, please. We're so sorry for barging in on what seemed like family business without asking.
Not at all. You definitely helped us out.
Yuto seemed very depressed and seemed very worried about his siblings. He didn't say anything that day. He just went home, and we spent a quiet day not talking much. A few days later, the mother didn't seem to come back home yet, but Yuto and his family seemed to be doing great together. Then one day... Here, if you're interested.
Wow, you made this all on your own?
This is delicious! You'd make some chefs cry with this taste.
Yeah, I think it's the most incredible fried chicken I've ever had in my life.
That's awesome. Also, thank you so much for everything you've done for me before. Oh, don't mention it. How are things after that? No problems? Yeah, that woman hasn't come home since then. Even if she does, I'm not letting her back in. Grandma's so much more important to me right now. I see. So yeah, we've got a little time, so I was hoping you'd teach me some more cooking. I really want to cook her something for her birthday, you know?
That is such a lovely idea. Of course we'd be willing to help you, right?
Of course. Alright, I'll be back by tomorrow. Thank you. Starting the next day, Yuto started coming by my house again to learn how to cook. Eventually, he started bringing by his brother and sister to practice cooking as well. The usual fried chicken, broiled fish and pickled veggies, miso soup, and some egg rolls. They're so good! Great job, everyone! It's thanks to you two helping out.
You've got 5 more days till the birthday, so all that's left is the birthday cake.
A cake? I have to make it from zero? You've got to try everything, my guy. Don't worry, I've never made cake in my life either. You haven't?
Don't worry, I'm actually really good in that department.
Alright, let's do this then! We made some mistakes, but they were fun too. Eventually, we managed to make some cake. The day of the birthday...
Right this way, Grandma. Over here.
Rito and Hina led their grandmother to come over.
Thank you for having me over. Oh, we've been waiting for you.
Please, come on in. Happy birthday, Grandma! Happy birthday! Your grandkids said that they were going out with their friends, but have been coming over every day to learn how to cook a birthday cake for their lovely grandmother.
I made the pickled veggies in the soup. I cut the veggies though, and then I mixed the eggs too. They all worked hard and put their heart and soul into making their favorite grandma a cake.
Thank you so much for doing so much for us, Grandma. This is all we could think of, but this is our small gesture of gratitude for everything you do for us every day.
I see. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much.
She enjoyed the food, ate the cake, and if you told somebody they hadn't been living together since birth, they wouldn't believe you. Seeing them like that made us feel happy too. They were always getting along, and the kids loved their grandma. They had a lovely life. Yuto continued to come over to my house to learn how to cook.
You do this a little bit like that. Then it's easier.
Okay, got it! I never would have expected this from the first time I saw him. This is actually so heartwarming. But then one day...
Hey, doesn't Yuto seem kind of upset?
Yeah, I wonder if something happened.
It seems like you're kind of upset, buddy. What's going on?
Well, we got in touch with my mom, and Grandma's going to be taking care of us from now on too. I see!
Well, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, but because of that, we're all going to be moving into her house next month. I see. You're moving.
That's good, but we'll miss you.
Yeah. His grandma's house was far enough to require a plane to get there. I would be lying if I said I wouldn't miss him. But I mean, it's not like we're never going to see you again. You take good care of your grandma, huh? Yeah, I'm going to grow up, become a great chef, and then invite the two of you to my store. I swear! Okay, we'll be looking forward to it. A month after we promised each other, Yuto and his family all moved to his grandparents' house. Afterwards, I got married to Eri. A few years later, we had our own store and had been living great. But right before our 20th anniversary, Eri suddenly died due to illness. I didn't have kids either, so I was all kinds of shut in. I decided to let go of my store as well. Before I knew it, It was already 30 years since I'd separated from Yuto and his family. I was well over 60 years old and didn't reach out to anyone. I just lived quietly in a beat-up apartment. Yes? It's been a minute. I'm Yuto Shirota. You took great care of me before. Yuto? You mean Yuto? That Yuto? Yes, that delinquent Yuto. You're kidding me! How have you been? I'm doing great. I went to your store, but I heard that you closed up shop, so I went through everyone who knew you to try to figure out where you were. This was the address that I ended up at. I see. What the heck happened to you? And where's Eri-san? I told Yuto everything that happened up until that point. He just quietly listened, and when I informed him of Eri's passing, he cried. And once he calmed down, he handed me a photo. I actually own a cafe with my wife. I see. You reached your dreams. Congratulations. If you're interested, would you like to work at our store? Huh? I've got the house that my grandma left behind. It's empty, so you can just live there. It's totally fine. I couldn't get in your hair. Someone like me. You saved my life when I was young. I need to repay you some, or my grandma would be rolling in her grave.
My husband often told me stories about you and your wife. I think that if you and Eri-san weren't around, then my husband's life would have been horrible.
Please, let me keep the promise of inviting you over to my restaurant. And I want you to be this boy's grandpa. Will you please listen to that young boy's selfish demands one last time? Yuto, you're so stubborn, boy. You got me. Thank you so much! I decided to move closer to where Yuto and his family were. We didn't have any kids, but I've got Yuto and his kids. Is it really okay for me to have this kind of happiness? Eri's photo showed her smiling gently at the camera, almost as if to tell me that it was alright for me to go with them.